pipeline politics.
He wants a carbon tax without a pipeline, when what we really need is a pipeline without a carbon tax.
A Conservative motion defeated in the House of Commons. Railway plan.
We really want this to be a functional train that gets people to work, but also a train that serves the tourism economy.
Is Ottawa on board for a new passenger rail service to Banff? And give blood.
It's something that you guys have no idea how much it means to me, to my daughter.
How donations honor a young woman gone too soon.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. Political theater gripped the House of Commons today, with the government and opposition grappling over the Memorandum of Understanding on a pipeline to the BC coast.
We're having a vote here. We're having a vote.
A Conservative motion asks whether Liberal MPs support the construction of, quote, one or more pipelines, and also asked to modify the tanker ban on the West Coast. The wording came directly from the Memorandum of Understanding between Alberta and the feds, but it left out carbon pricing, as well as engagement with British Columbia and First Nations. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre then partially amended the motion to include the latter, but it was defeated 196 to 139. The exercise was all academic. The vote is non-binding. Tyson Fedor joins us live. And Tyson, political watchers say this motion was really political game playing.
Well, Ian, Pierre Poilievre was hoping that forcing this vote onto public record, that it would start to show some fracture and cracks within the Liberal caucus following the high-profile resignation from Cabinet just late last month of Stephen Guilbeault. Now, Calgary Confederation Liberal MP Corey Hogan voted the motion down as well today. He says it's immature political games by the Conservatives. The Conservatives say that the Liberals voting down the non-binding motion was to appease anti-pipeline members of its caucus. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith admits the Conservatives were playing politics with today's vote. She says that she, along with the Prime Minister, are committed fully to the Memorandum of Understanding and what it sets out.
It was going on about the industrial carbon tax. Well, that's a key part of this grand bargain. If he wanted to be in good faith, he would have just included the entire MOU, unedited, and said, let's vote on this. But that's not what he's trying to do, because he's trying to create a wedge within the Liberal Party.
Alberta now has until July the 1st to meet the application deadline of making a pipeline project a reality. Ian?
RCMP are trying to figure out who is responsible for hate graffiti that has been appearing in Brooks. Photos of the white supremacist and anti-immigrant spray painting include a swastika and the Cross of Odin. The southeastern Alberta city also reported White Lives Matter stickers on traffic signs. The first incident was reported October 1st. The most recent happened November 26th. Police would like to hear from anyone with information that could help their investigation. And RCMP say a Lloydminster man made credible threats toward identifiable groups of people. Police searched the 38-year-old's home and seized multiple guns and hate items, including a Nazi flag. He has been charged with illegal possession and unsafe storage of guns, as well as willful promotion of hatred. An effort to ban foreign flags from flying at City Hall will head back to Council next week. Calgary's mayor says the raising of some flags has caused protests, demonstrations, and safety concerns. A motion was originally brought forth last month after the Palestinian flag was raised at Calgary City Hall for the first time ever. But councillors voted down the motion, arguing more time was needed to consult with community members. Flags of 34 foreign nations have been raised in Calgary this year. The motion will go to council on Monday. The southeast portion of Calgary's Green Line is well underway, and engagement for the downtown portion will start next month. 5 construction projects started in the summer. that run from Victoria Park to Shepherd. The southeast portion will run for 16 kilometers with 10 stations, 2 bridges, and a storage facility. To date, $1.6 billion has been spent on the project, with Phase 1 budgeted at $6.2 billion in total. Engagement and major planning on the elevated line downtown will start in January.
So there's work right now around the Crossroads Market and the bridge over Blackfoot Trail and LRT bridge there. There's work currently, there's 2 sites actually in the communities of Ogden and Linwood Milliken around those areas. So they will see construction.
A full report on the downtown, including a better idea of cost estimates, won't be ready until the end of next year. The southeast leg is expected to be open to the public in 2031. The Calgary to Banff passenger rail project is one step closer to reality. It's been submitted to Ottawa's Major Projects Office. A group planning to build a hydrogen-powered train to the mountains has asked the federal government to help get the project moving. The Major Projects Office can speed up projects deemed to be in the national interest through streamlined approvals and funding. Proponents are convinced that with some help, the $1.5 billion train could be making trips as soon as 2030.
To have them back us and support us and even guide us through this next kind of 2-year phase, we feel would be very important to getting this train over the finish lines. We really want this to be a functional train that gets people to work, but also a train that serves the tourism economy.
The group has promised no taxpayer funding will be used on their portion of the line, but the project will only happen if the provincial government first builds a rail line from the airport to downtown Calgary. Banff Town Council took a step forward today in its plans to reduce the number of elk being struck and killed by trains in town. Elk train collisions are high on a stretch of line adjacent to commercial properties along Eagle Crescent. According to Parks Canada, 42 elk have been killed along the 2-kilometer stretch between 2004 and 2025. Council is now considering thinning vegetation to create clearer sight lines for elk as trains approach. But officials say there would be some additional benefits from clearing the dense wooded area.
So the area proposed to be thinned is primarily a coniferous forest, one that is most likely to burn in the event of a wildfire. And so one of the benefits of this project would actually be to reduce the fuel load around our industrial district of Banff and reduce fire risk to those properties. Today, Council voted in favor of the project moving ahead, contingent on a funding collaboration with Parks Canada. The project would cost $20,000 every 5 years, starting in 2027. We've reached out to Parks Canada for comment, but have not yet heard back. We have breaking news from Air Transat. A tentative agreement has been reached between the airline and its pilots. 12 flights were canceled today, with 6 already removed from the schedule for tomorrow. Pilots will need to vote on the agreement. And Calgary International Airport is promising smoother holiday travel with the opening of a new security checkpoint. Tomorrow morning, centralized screening will open for the domestic terminal at the airport. Officials say the 7 lanes of security checkpoints will improve capacity by 40%. The old domestic terminal security areas will be transformed into new retail spaces and washrooms. Danielle joins us now from our Toy Mountain campaign at Trail Appliances. And you have a peek at the weather. It was again on the warmer side today.
It was, Ian. It's certainly not now. I'm not sure if you remember, but yesterday we were talking about the temperatures plummeting fast in the afternoon, and that's exactly what's happening. Earlier this afternoon, we were at 5 degrees, and now, oh my goodness, we're down to -12. And that's just the ambient temperature. That's not even including wind chill. So when you look at cooler temperatures, that's the big story for this week in the city. We also do have some snow on the way and things like that, but it won't be as much of a significant snowfall in the city compared to what's going on south of the city. All right, your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen. Family owned, community driven. Discover more at 5th Avenue Volkswagen. And yes, temperatures have been dropping over these last 6 hours dramatically fast, with the wind chill in the overnight hours -18. But early in the morning, temperatures are actually going to start to rise. So we'll wake up to -4 with a wind chill of -8. It will be a gusty day once again tomorrow, mainly cloudy, but these winds out of the west should carry us up to +4 by tomorrow afternoon. Your full forecast is just ahead. Ian?
Thank you, Danielle. A local family wants to keep their daughter's memory alive. Next, a special blood donation drive in honor of a young woman who died at the age of 18. And later, better than an email, the effort to keep people connecting with greeting cards. A Calgary mother is rallying community members to donate blood in memory of her daughter who had a rare blood disorder. Minal Mullen had a magnetic personality and a big laugh, but she lived with thalassemia and had 270 blood transfusions in her life before she passed away last year at the age of 18. Her mother started the Minal for Life Foundation and is coordinating a blood drive on December 30th, which would have been Minal's 20th birthday. She hopes to bring Calgarians together to give the gift of life.
So for 18 years, it's all thanks to people who are donating. She was able to live a life. She did everything like any other teenage.
It is such an easy way to give back. It really makes an impact in the lives of patients that need blood products each and every day.
Canadian Blood Services says the end of December and beginning of January is a tough time because many people are away or busy with the holidays. They have about 2,400 appointments to fill, so events like the blood drive in honor of Minal make a big difference. Very special day at the Children's Hospital as members of the Calgary Flames dropped in to visit some patients.
My son Easton's unfortunately battling brain cancer, going on 2.5 years, and so it's a long battle, a lot of trips to the hospital, so to have this as a surprise just really brings us joy in what is usually kind of, unfortunately, part of our routine life.
The players put their sticks and skates aside and picked up craft items to make Christmas ornaments with the kids. It was an opportunity for these young patients to have some fun during an especially challenging time. Members of the Stampeders, Roughnecks, and Flames alumni also visited the hospital today. And Danielle, the Flames are on a 3-game winning streak, so I'm sure they were in an even better mood. You were talking about...
Yes, that would put us...
You were talking about wind chill overnight.
I was. But before I get into any weather stuff, we have something very important to talk about here. You know, and this keeps things warmer, right? The Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit. I have some Trail Appliance elves behind me doing some really important work for the community. And I have Sean Farrow here with me as well from Trail Appliance. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so first talk about how important this is for Trail Appliance. You've been involved in this for so many years.
Yeah.
Why is this important to be involved, and what does this mean to you?
It's our 9th year of being involved with Toy Mountain. We're a family-owned and operated business, and so it's very important for us to give back to the community that's supported us for all these years, which is more than 50 now. So, you know, we get a lot of our staff volunteer. Right now, we're at 1 count a day. Towards the end of this week and into next, we'll be up to 2 counts a day.
So you have a bunch of volunteers.
Yeah, we probably
employees
20 or more who are on shift work and come in and count
Elf
when they're
shift
asked.
work.
That's right. Yeah, they punch a clock. Yeah.
Amazing. So explain the process to us, because people have been coming in and dropping off toys.
So toys are dropped off at any of the our 3 locations, as well as the other Toy Mountain locations, and then they're brought here, and then the elves take over as you see here, and we count them, and we build that mountain as high as we can get it.
That's a big mountain so far.
So far, we're doing all right.
All right. What an incredible community we have.
We do, yeah. Yes. And things always seem to pick up in those last sort of 7 to 10 days. So we've got a lot more to go.
Okay. Well, Sean, thank you. Let's quickly go to our board to talk about the numbers. Where are we at this point? So far, 3,616 toys, as you can see by the massive pile, or as you did see by the massive pile behind me. In total value, with including cash donations, $452,281, which goes a long way to help Fears Not Love all year. Very, very, very important for our community. All right, so thanks to you for all your donations. And there are almost 30 drop-off locations around the city. You can go to ctvcalgary.ca to find them all, or to make a cash donation as well. All right, let's talk about the weather. And I don't know if you want to hear about the cool down, but we're going to talk about the cool down. We already have one cool down. I would say this is about a mini one, a short-term one, and then a longer-term one is on the way. So at this point, we are above freezing in Lethbridge, Pincher Creek, Milk River. Calgary is down to -12. Just a short while ago, we were at +5. So this is a dramatic, quick cool down. We talked about this, all the melting going on out there. And then the dramatic cool down leads to flash freezing out there on sidewalks and roads and very slippery conditions. All right, wind gusts today, for some reason not showing on this graphic here, but wind gusts today, we had almost 80 in Pincher Creek and around that 70 mark for Lethbridge, closer to 40 in Medicine Hat, and even gustier than Calgary. So it has been a very gusty day, and it will continue to be gusty tomorrow as well. Pincher Creek looking at gusts 100 kilometers per hour for tomorrow, and for Calgary, 50 is what's possible. All right, that's going to be out of the west, though. That's going to increase our temperatures by tomorrow afternoon. We'll get above the freezing mark. Not a whole lot going on with this system right now, but in the longer term, we are looking at some snowfall. This is a look, especially when you count Thursday and early Friday. 15 centimeters possible in Lethbridge, 2 for Okotoks, and anywhere from 1 to 3 is what's likely in Calgary. Giving you that longer range forecast, 4 degrees is our afternoon high for tomorrow. By tomorrow night, we get into that mixed precipitation. About 1 centimeter of snow is possible on Thursday, and another centimeter likely on Friday. And check out those daytime highs. This will be a long-term plummet in temperature, -13 for Thursday, and a high of just -19 for Friday.
Thanks, Danielle. Another Canadian industry may be targeted by the Trump administration. Just ahead, why potash exports are the latest that could receive the tariff treatment. Once again, tariffs are in the headlines, and this time it involves Canadian Fertilizer. Joining me is Robert Geary, investment advisor with the Popwich-Carmeli Advisory Group. And Rob, Donald Trump is threatening more tariffs.
Yeah, and this is an interesting one because it was about a month ago that he took all of the fertilizer tariffs off the table, and now they're potentially coming back on. And this is an interesting time because it's in the midst of a huge farmer bailout in the U.S. at the same time, because they've been struggling with massive costs, partly because of the input and partly because of fertilizer costs. So I think this is quite counterintuitive at this point in time. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, because these farmers down in the States are struggling. And for the potash companies up here, I don't think they're too worried. We're not seeing too much movement in price because they know that they need that, and they know that the U.S. fertilizer inputs are not big enough to support the farmers. So I think this is going to be an interesting one to watch.
And Microsoft is making a multi-billion-dollar investment in Canada.
Yeah, this is a huge push, and Microsoft has been advancing a lot of their spending across the globe, and especially here in Canada, providing their Azure platform to the likes of public service and private service. And there's two things that are happening here. One is their focus on protecting Canadian data, so using this as kind of anti-threat, anti-theft of data. And there's a Canadian portion of this too. Is there's a Canadian AI startup named Cohere that is going to be providing the AI to this new system too. So there's, I would say, a great deal of new jobs in trying to protect Canadian data going into the cloud at this point in time.
Okay, thanks very much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Pipeline politics takes center stage in the House of Commons today. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The federal Conservatives were defeated in their non-binding motion about a new pipeline to BC. It was based on the Memorandum of Understanding recently signed between Alberta and the federal government. Coming up at 6, we'll tell you what Premier Daniel Smith is saying about the politics at play. Also ahead, a Calgary to Banff passenger train proposal has now been submitted to Ottawa's Major Projects Office. Coming up, we'll see what travelers in Calgary think about the idea. Ian.
Thank you, Tara. Several community groups are reminding Calgarians about the importance of connection during the holidays. In the past 8 years, the Canadian greeting cards market has shrunk by more than half as people transition to paperless substitutes. That's had an impact on many older adults. So Korea, Calgary's social impact agency, created Sending Season's Greetings to Seniors. Cards can be dropped off at its offices until December 19th.
We really identified that some things in the community were disrupting folks accessing Christmas cards, such as the postal strike. And we know that in the Calgary community, seniors are some of the fastest growing populations and also some of the most vulnerable. So we've established this incredible campaign to bring a little bit of holiday joy into the hands and homes of individuals who might be isolated this holiday season.
And if you're feeling overwhelmed or isolated this holiday season, the Calgary Distress Centre's crisis line is available to text or call 24/7. The center's Keep Human Connection Alive donation campaign helps ensure every call, text, and chat is met with a real person who can listen. Just one more day until our weather takes a rather substantial turn. Right now it is -12 and there's mist out there. Danielle has the details coming up. Danielle, we can enjoy, I gather, one more day of relatively warm conditions, and then it really goes south after that.
Yep. Soak it all in tomorrow afternoon, Ian, because after that, it's a long-term cold stretch that's not just a day or 2 or 4. It could be 10 days long. So today's high was 5 degrees, +5. That was at 1 in the afternoon. And at this point, we're sitting at -12. So in just 4 hours, that's a super dramatic temperature drop, which means all that's been melting is quickly freezing out there on the roads and sidewalks. So take your time, be careful out there. Tomorrow, the temperatures actually start to rise really early in the morning. Should get us up to 4 degrees, but it will be gusty. And by Wednesday night through Thursday and Friday, temperatures will start to drop, and you're looking at a couple centimeters of snow along with that as well. Ian.
Thanks, Danielle. A rare visitor to Alberta is spending the winter at the Alberta Institute for Wildlife Conservation. A female Costas hummingbird arrived at the clinic on November 13th after spending several days in a northeast Calgary yard. These desert birds are typically found in the American Southwest, usually no further north than Nevada. The clinic staff determined the tiny bird got lost and was unlikely to survive Calgary's winter weather. She needs a special diet, heat, and humidity to regain her strength. If you want to help her, consider donating to the clinic at aiwc.ca. Thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.